Hey, it's John from the Bengston Woodshop, and today we're going to be covering the MICROJIG GR-Ripper. It's a tool that I bought because I had a kickback issue not too long ago. I had the riving knife and everything that I needed installed on the table saw to keep from having kickback for the most part. The only issue I had was when I was pushing the wood through, my push stick kind of moved. I don't know if I didn't leave enough space for it or whatnot, but the push stick had twisted and it instantly felt like a grenade or explosion went off in my hand. It was a pretty violent kickback, sent the piece of wood flying forward after it hit my hand and bent the little blade guard that's on my table saw, bent that in half, and then kicked the piece of wood about 20 to 25 feet over my shoulder into my driveway. So that being said, I had to actually put the piece of skin back and get it kind of taped up. So luckily it stopped bleeding. I didn't need any stitches, but it was still nerve-wracking to say the least. But it's healed up pretty good now. It's just a little spot on my hand. So anyway, I was really nervous to use my table saw after that, and I don't want to be afraid of my tools. So one thing that I bought was the MICROJIG GR-Ripper, and this is not sponsored, and this is just me talking about this piece of equipment and how it's supposed to eliminate kickback and keep you safe. So right away, this is made out of some pretty heavy duty, I don't know if it's plastic or fiberglass or what the material is, but it doesn't budge. It's extremely sturdy. Comes disassembled, but it's really simple to assemble. It comes with great instructions, and it's just easy to put together. So a couple of features about this is it has this little sliding piece here that allows you to adjust for different thicknesses of board that you're wanting to cut, or maybe the position. Maybe you want this piece to run between your fence and your table saw, the saw blade, or maybe you need to cut a piece that's like a 1/4 inch thick, like I was doing when I got my kickback. So this will allow you to cut a piece up to a 1/4 inch thick, or I said maybe as little as a 1/4 inch thick. And then another feature that it has, this locks in place by the way, it doesn't stay floating around. Another feature that it has is this little piece on the side here. Now what that allows you to do is, say if your piece isn't flat, you have a little piece of thicker stock that you're trying to run through, this will keep this flat piece on the table of the table saw, and will keep it from rocking and moving like that, so you constantly have a stable base when operating. So that's pretty nice. It also has these little screw holes here, which will allow you to like mount it to a piece of wood if you need like a longer surface. Just gives you a more stable base. But I'm gonna go ahead and do some cuts and kind of show you how it works, and then let me know what you think about it and what your opinions are, and if it's worth the money or not. I think I spent about $60 on this product. I guess I should cover how it works. So it has these little feet on here that act as grippers. It's made of like a rubber type material, and this will keep the piece from sliding on the wood, and then it just runs through, and this will create even pressure on both sides of the table saw, so when you're running you don't have any pinching or binding, which will get rid of your kickback, and it'll work with your riving knife or any other type of equipment you have. That little plastic piece on your table saw, you're gonna have to take that off if you do use that in order to use the MICROJIG. So you do have to kind of get rid of a safety feature to implement, in my opinion, a better safety feature. You just have to make sure that your blade isn't going to be taller than this from the actual piece of wood, which it shouldn't be anyway. Your table blade should only be going just through the material. It shouldn't be running like 1 inch above the material or anything like that. So this should have plenty of clearance on whatever you're trying to cut on your table saw. So let's go ahead and do some cuts, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so here I'm just putting this piece of plywood down so I can get the height of my blade adjusted. And now I don't like to keep this thing any higher than about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch above the piece of wood. Now this is just going to be a simple demonstration of how the gripper works. I sized the gripper up to the piece of plywood here. I noticed that it was just a little bit wider than the actual piece of plywood, so I dropped that foot down just to give me a more stable base and lock that into position. I wanted to make sure that the micro jig wasn't getting hit by the blade and that I was not going to hit anything running that entire piece of plywood through. So I back everything off, I turn the blade on, and I start making my cut, and it cut perfect. I didn't have any issues. The only thing I would do differently in this shot is I would wait for my blade to completely stop spinning before I take the micro jig off or remove these pieces of wood. Since this video is about safety, I kind of just ruined that, but I wanted you to see that I'm not always perfect and I make mistakes too. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Let me know in the comments section whether or not you think the micro jig is worth it or what other features you guys might use to keep yourself safe in the shop.